Okay, look people, this is not a makeup tutorial. This is me having a lot of content to share, and I haven't done so since like way before Thanksgiving, or maybe shortly after the election. So this is me taking this time to catch up. In other words, multitasking. Let's talk about politics. My favorite subject. You know what we need? We need people like you and me to rise up and run for public office. And we need politicians that, if you're not doing a good job, resign, step down. There's no shame in that game. And that's the difference between my idea of a politician and what's currently in office. Like, take Gavin Newsom, for instance. There's a recall going for him. Oh, please. Come on, Californians, recall them. That MFer. Do a vote of confidence. And if you're not doing good, step down. What's with these politicians who their constituents aren't happy with them and they refuse to step down? You know what's up with that? Is they're not in it for you. They're not in it for the voters. They're in it for themselves. It's power. Prove me wrong, politician. Prove me wrong. I don't know if this is the right color. Ooh, a little bit darker. Ooh. You got politicians like Nancy Pelosi and Gavin Newsom who don't think that the same stay-at-home orders applies to them. You know why? Because they don't really believe that this pandemic is as serious as they want us to believe. I believe that wholeheartedly. Otherwise, they'd be sheltered down in bunkers. So, who's willing to step up and run for office, huh? And just tell it like it is. For once. Don't try to be someone you're not. Term limits? 2 years. 2 years. Right? I think that's what's current anyways. You got 2 years to make a difference. And if people don't like you, step down. If you don't step down, you're just a power-hungry politician, and you can't be trusted. No politician can be trusted if that's how they are. Maybe I should run for public office. If I ran for public office, people would come out of the woodwork. Carlin, is it true that you did this? Carlin, is it true that you did that? Counts say that you've done this. And you know what? You know what I'd say with the microphone in my face? Maybe I did. I probably did. Heck, I don't even remember. All I know is I'm not the same person I was back then. Did you hear about the explosion in Tennessee? God, what do you think of that stuff? I talked about it earlier in the hot tub. Is that just so outlandish? What people are saying that explosion is all about? Something to do with a supercomputer, Dominion, and the forensic audit. Look, I'm not one jump on these conspiracy theories. I mean, I read them, and yeah, they kind of sound like they're connecting the dots. You know, I'm going, what? I am. No matter how good it sounds, I am definitely not one to say, yeah, that's it, that's right, that's what's going on. I'm like, what? Where did you get your sources from? What are you talking about? And how do I find this out on my own? I want to believe it, but I'm very skeptical. Because, you know, it almost sounds too good to be true. It actually sounds like something from a what's that writer, author, director that does those, you know, like Clear and Present Danger movies, the Jack Ryans. Who's that guy? It's on the tip of my tongue. Clancy? Tom Clancy. It sounds, the stuff that we're hearing about in the news right now sounds like something out of a Tom Clancy movie. All I know is I gotta blush the ears to match the rest. All I know is that this whole election cycle is not normal. No. And it's not because I wanted Trump to win. I mean, I did. Everybody knows that. But that's not why. It's not normal because of how everything happened. This kind of stuff didn't happen in 2016. You know what gets me is how these politicians, even Republicans, which by the night, you can't trust them. Most Republicans are against Trump anyways. I like to bring natural color. Just some GOP representative, I just saw a post before I started putting on my makeup, said, we're gonna be disappointed when we find out, you know, the election wasn't stolen. Prove that it wasn't stolen. Because we've already proved that it was. The evidence is there. The Supreme Court just doesn't want to deal with it, which is not uncommon. Even on the lower levels, courts don't want to take certain cases. Most of the time it's because it's not cost effective, or they don't have the time for it, or the manpower to handle a certain case. But for the Supreme Court, I think that they're afraid of the repercussions. Okay, look, I'm just gonna tell you what I'm thinking out loud. I think we need to have a redo on the elections. And don't tell me it's not possible. Anything is possible. We need to have a redo on the elections, and it needs to be guarded. It needs to be guarded. And it needs to be honest. And actually, it needs to be done to set a precedence on how American elections should be. Otherwise, we're no different than all the other third world countries who handled their elections. We need to have another election. We need to have a redo. Yes. We can. If the Supreme Court's not going to give us the time of day, then Trump needs to do what he has to do to have another election. I'm not into overturning the election so that Trump stays in office. I mean, that would not be the right thing to do. I want Trump to be in office, but I want him to be in office legitimately. So if Trump did whatever he had to do to have another election and he lost, I would accept that. I would be good with that. And I think Trump would accept that too. If we don't, we'll never know. We'll never know. And the division in this country, which is not caused by the president, it's caused by you and me. I divide myself from everybody who thinks this is okay. Yeah. Redo that election. You Democrats and liberals are going to want that too. I mean, some say, well, Trump stole the last election. No, he didn't. I think most of us were surprised that he even won. So that's what I think. And if a civil war, I think we're in a cold civil war right now, but if an actual revolution breaks out, better that for the truth than to live in peace and harmony under a lie. You don't have to be a Republican or a Democrat to agree with that. Just an American. How dare you people think that we should just accept the election results and move on? Biden's my president. He's your president too. What happened to justice? I want justice. And until there is justice, I don't think there's going to be any unity. Now, when I say unity, I mean Americans from both sides living peacefully together. I don't think so. But let me tell you what you guys voted for. Okay? And this is what divides us. And more specifically, this is what divides me from you. This is what divides me from all of my liberal Democrat friends. You voted for a person. Because you hated Trump so badly, you voted for a person that did nothing in all of his years. He did nothing remarkable. Actually did some things questionable. Un-American, actually, in all of his years in politics. He even had his own quid pro quo when he was vice president, you know, with Ukraine, saying, I'm not going to give you your $1 billion until you fire a certain prosecutor. You guys voted for that. You voted for that person who did that. That's some shady politics. And you voted for that. You are shady people if you voted for that. But okay, each their own. You guys probably think I'm a bigot and a misogynist and a racist because I voted for Trump. Well, try to make sense of that. You can't, because it's not true. And then you voted, okay, hold on, let me back up. Okay, and then there were primaries. you know, for the Democrats trying to get that nomination, right? Oh, let me back up even further. In the debates, Kamala Harris called him a racist. Okay, now you're going to say, no, she didn't. She even said, I know you're not a racist. But after what she described him as doing and being, cancels that out. So yes, she did call him a racist. And then laughs about it later in an interview. Oh, no, it was a debate. That's just the shit we say in a debate. We don't really mean it. That's basically what the American politics is all about. We just say mean shit to each other, but we don't mean it. And then we support each other. Would you support somebody who talks behind your back? Would you, in a workplace, would you not take someone serious if they were talking smack about you to other coworkers? Trying to turn the whole office against you? Oh, it's just office talk. That's just, you know, break room talk. Yeah, right. It doesn't work like that. You know it. And then in the Iowa caucuses, did she even make the Iowa? I don't remember. But Kamala Harris only got 2% of the support of the Democrats. 2%. That means that 98% of you supported somebody else. 98% of you. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Biden wins the nomination. Guys, that's the puppet they chose. The DNC chose that puppet. And then he turns around. And despite what the rest of the voters chose in the primaries, he picked the person that was the least favored. He picked the person that was the least favored. So, I mean, even Biden, okay, let's just say it goes much deeper than Biden, okay? There's something bigger behind this machine. The DNC picks somebody that even the Democrats don't support. So they don't even, the Democrat Party doesn't even care about you Democrat voters. But people have been telling you this for years and you refuse to listen. Hey, you know, I'm just going to put it in your ear right now. You know what Democrat you could get behind? Tulsi Gabbard. Yeah, I think she's I still don't support her. I don't support her politics, but I'm just saying, as a conservative, Republican-ish, I could see, would have a lot more respect for you, liberal Democrats, had you picked her. Because she delivered some good bombs during the debates. But now, the DNC didn't care what you want. They picked somebody who you least favored. And then now, you know, what's funny is all of you are like, oh, she kicked down doors. She's done so much. What has she done? Nothing. You guys crack me up. You crack me up. This is why I can't even get serious about you liberal Democrats. So now, this is the same party that stole the nomination away from Bernie Sanders. Yep. Sanders supporters know it. You guys know it. You guys did it so that you could have Hillary Clinton in 2016. So, why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they cheat in this election? Yeah, they did. You know why? Because their behavior, their patterned behavior over the last 5 years proves it. They have motive. And so what did you guys vote for when you voted for Biden? You voted for socialism. And I have a problem with that. Socialism is not freedom. Socialism is an incentive to be lazy, and not just for the people receiving the benefits. It's lazy for each individual that's okay with being taxed in order to provide these benefits for those that don't want to work for it. This is your easy way out righteousness. Well, I contribute, I help. You didn't do shit. You didn't do doo-doo. Being taxed. Being taxed to help the less fortunate. No, that doesn't negate you of your moral obligation. Sorry, all you liberal Democrats who think you're godly. The government is not a substitute for your moral obligations. And I hear so many of you say, well, I'm okay with doing that. I mean, that just helps other people. You know what would really be impressive? Is if you gave your own hard-earned money to the people who really needed it. That's like a personal socialism. That's socialism on a personal level that Jesus spoke to. Yeah, some of you want to say Jesus was a socialist. He talked about socialism. There's a government socialism, and then there's personal. And socialism on a personal level, yeah, that's a good thing. On a government level, no. You know why? Okay, for socialism, do the math. It doesn't work. According to Margaret Thatcher, eventually you run out of other people's money. But it also doesn't work because it's dependent on a government to manage that socialism. And a government would have to be ethical and honest and transparent and pure. And I don't know if you've noticed lately, but we've got the most corrupt government. I think our government is as corrupt as any third world government out there. So socialism could never work. We are a capitalist nation with socialistic programs. I'm recording. So, it's okay. I'm okay if you're okay. Just don't go to the bathroom. So, My husband walks in the room and I lose all my train of thought. He's just so handsome and sexy to me. Seriously, where was I? Oh. We have the most corrupt government. Any hopes of a government socialism to work would depend on a good government, right? An honest government. And because we don't have one of those, it could never work. It could never work. And why? Because that kind of power leads to greed. And then you've got the elites and the peasants, which is us. So all you people who think that nobody's doing socialism right, there's a reason for that. It can't be done right. You guys have just seen my total transformation, except for my hair. Oh, hey, and what do you think of the $600 stimulus check? The COVID relief. What is $600 relief when you've been out of work for months? What an insult. But surprisingly enough, you know, I see on threads, I don't know if you're trolls or if you really think $600 is acceptable. I think that comes out to like 9 cents an hour. I don't know. Somebody did the math for me. And then I know that Trump is trying to, he wants more money, which, yeah, he wants more money. I get that. But in order to have more money for relief, actually it should be more than that, but we can't, let me make sure I say the right thing. We can't break the country. Like, we're already in debt, right? We can't break us even more because of what the politicians, namely the Democratic governors, have done to us so far. Yeah, I appreciate Trump saying, you know, increase the stimulus to like $2,000 a couple, or $2,000 for an individual and $4,000 for a couple. What? It's weird. Look, how many different shoes do you have in your closet? Okay. You accessorize with shoes. I accessorize with contact lenses. Don't freak out. I have green eyes because I can. But you know, I've posted about it. I think the ultimate stimulus would be for these dictatorial governors, and we all know who they are, right? It's for these governors to be squashed, removed, arrested, whichever happens first, and let these states open up. Because no amount of stimulus money is going to help at this point. It's a Band-Aid, or a bigger Band-Aid. We don't need a Band-Aid. We need a cure. And the cure would be for the country, for the states to open up. Last weekend, not this weekend. The last weekend we were in Texas. We ate in restaurants. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were at reduced capacity. People were masked going in, and we got our nails done out in the open. We wore masks, you know. I don't like wearing masks. I don't either. But I'll wear a mask if it will get our state, California, to open up completely. There's ways we can do this. But our governor thinks we're too stupid to know how to do it ourselves. And all you people, why are you not insulted by this? Why are you not insulted that these governors think that we're too stupid? I mean, you already voted these people in. There's a level of stupidity there. And that was mean of me to say, but I'm thinking out loud. All right, I'm gonna blow dry my hair. We need to open up. I hope the president doesn't sign it. One Republican politician said that if he doesn't sign it, we would see a time of misery. You're right. Just open up our country, open up our states, and let us go back to normal as much as reasonably possible. We need to work. Our citizens need to work. We don't need handouts. We need to work because we can do it better than you guys can do it for us. Thanks for watching.